What is up, Green Bay Packers fans, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Draft, brought to you by Badger State Brewing. I am your host, the publisher of Packer Report, Ross Uglem, and today, celebrate, folks, it's Mock Draft Monday. I'm in a little bit of a time crunch, not anything too crazy. I thought about doing a little bit something different, maybe going to a different mock draft sim instead of Pro Football Focus, which we will do. Thought about opening up to trades, which we will do. But today, because the last one was kind of an introductory thing, we'll just go through the normal kind of what I do, which is generally a Pro Football Focus mock sim. As I mentioned, I feel like the trades are realistic. I use my board kind of against theirs, but you still do get a different experience. You use Pro Football Network, you use FanSpeak. I believe TDN's network is back up, or their website is back up. Maybe use the Draft Network as a mock sim. They were kind of the OGs. They were the ones that everybody used early. But today we're going to go through a 7-round mock at Pro Football Network. Just want to always show respect and appreciation when people go through a 7-round mock. Now, I haven't looked at this, so that's a little bit different than what we've done before. I am going to kind of give you my thoughts in real time. That might lead to slightly more rambling, might be a little bit obnoxious for our audio listeners, but hopefully it doesn't go that way. Hopefully it doesn't go that way at all. We'll share that up on the screen, and then I will do a 4-round Packers mock on the PFF mock sim as I normally do. So let's dive in here. Owain Jones is the name of the guy who created this mock here at PFN. Plenty of banner ads at PFN. Shout out, get your money. Here is a trade that does not involve the Green Bay Packers, which is fine. Let's go real fast. All right, 25th, Green Bay Packers, Quinyon Mitchell. I'm for it. I'm about that. I nicknamed 5 corners and 2 safeties the 7. I'm a big fan of The Boys. It's a great show. If you like some subversion of the superhero trope, but we're gonna not get into The Boys tangent. Anyway, those guys were my guys that I wanted the Packers to leave with 1 or 2. Okay, so it's Kool-Aid McKinstry, Terrion Arnold, Cooper DeJean, Nate Wiggins, and Ennis Rakestraw Jr. with the Cam Kinchens and Tyler Nubin. Those were the 7, right? They're the 8 now. Okay, Quinyon Mitchell, I'm very excited to see him test, but based on, what I've seen on film and then what he did at the Senior Bowl, his measurements at the Senior Bowl, of course, like I said, we need athletic testing. Not for him necessarily to vault up the board, but just to like kind of lock into some things, because Mac is not super high level football, and this coming from a North Dakota State guy. I mean, I think people might not believe this. North Dakota and South Dakota State would wax 80% of the Mac. I mean, they really would. That's the talent level. And you don't believe me? Just go look at the last 10 years of pro production. How many players these teams are putting in the pros. Not doing this to brag about NDSU. That's another sort of side tangent. But like the Mac is pretty low level ball, and so I want to see the athletic testing. So it's not like, well, this is a slightly above average NFL athlete dominating MAC competition. Just a test to pass, not something to vault him off the board. Just a test to pass with Quinyon Mitchell, because I want to see that, if I'm burning a 1st-round pick on a corner, he needs to be a good athlete. That is, factual. Okay. I don't think they'll do this. This is Patrick Paul, O-tackle from Houston. Did not have a great Senior Bowl, is not versatile, and is tall. He's 6'7". I'll bring people to the chart that I've shared a million times, just about how they don't do that. The Packers, are generally drafting 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", 305, 312, 309 pound offensive linemen. That's not Patrick Paul. I don't love this pick. I understand why it's done. It'll make even more sense, I think, if they do lose David Bakhtiari, but I don't think they'll be interested in Patrick Paul. Trying to think of even defensive tackles that go shortly afterwards here. They definitely take the Yale kid over Patrick Paul. I mean, I shouldn't say that like I absolutely know it, but the Yale kid with the difficult name to spell, they'd take him, I think. Jonathan Brooks, I'm very cool with that. As long as we get medicals that like he's not going to miss the first 4 weeks of the season. late second round where they took Dillon. I think Brooks has a much better pro profile than AJ Dillon did coming out of college. I think AJ Dillon had a 4 for me. Um, and Brooks has a, really, really high 3, or if he clears his medicals, he'll be a 2. Just so people know, Jonathan Brooks will be my RB1 in this class if we get the information that he's going to be ready for camp, or at least probably ready for week 1. Okay, into round 3. Green Bay's picks are at the tail end here. I bet people love on the uh-oh. This is great for the audio folks. Folks, we've frozen the draft. Here we go. We're back. A little refresh. We're back. Going up to pick 88. Edge Cooper, they love Edge Cooper. This is a great pick, by the way, at 88th overall. Love this. I'm not saying this is like saving the draft, because I don't know that this draft needed saving. Edger and Cooper is my like very, very borderline LB2, LB1. I like Peyton Wilson from NC State as well. This would be an awesome pick at 88. I think if they took him at 58, I'd be pretty excited, as much as I think, off-ball linebackers should be mid-round picks. Edgerrin Cooper is a very, very, very good player. He is prototype size at 6'3", 230. They might take him at 41. I would not be for that, but I'm just telling you that might happen. Cole Bishop, he's interesting to me. Fine as a 3rd round pick, fine as a guy that they could play in the slot, in the box, excuse me. If you're going to do what it sounds like they're going to do, which is sort of a center fielder and then a box safety. The original idea behind center fielder Darnell Savage and box safety Adrian Amos, even though it didn't necessarily work that way. Cole Bishop would be a fine box safety. You get that at the end of the 3rd round, start him for 2 contracts. Totally fine with that value. Have absolutely no problem with that. Okay, round 4. Leighton Robinson, they probably won't take a guard-only prospect like that. And then they have Green Bay's 2nd comp pick. They must be in the 5th round or not at all. Anyway, doesn't matter. So the picks that I don't love there, I don't think that they'll be very interested in the kid that they took in round 5, Leighton Robinson, guard out of Texas A&M. I don't think, frankly, that they're going to, regardless of whether or not they release David Bakhtiari, I'd be really surprised if they took 2 offensive linemen in the first 4 rounds with those picks. Not that offensive line isn't important, because it is, but they believe in Sean Ryan. That's clear, or they wouldn't have been rotating him. Josh Myers is still under contract and not going anywhere. I understand they might draft his replacement a year, but Ryan's not going anywhere. Myers isn't going anywhere. Rasheed Walker's not going anywhere. Elton Jenkins is obviously not going anywhere. Zach Tom is not going anywhere. And they have, in Caleb Jones and Luke Tenuta, they've got guys that they like in the building now. I'm going to be super surprised if 2 of their, premium picks in round 1 through 4. You can argue whether round 4 is a premium pick. It's probably not. I just would be very surprised and super surprised about a guard only prospect. But adding Jonathan Brooks and Edgerrin Cooper is a masterstroke here, especially if you like Quinyon Mitchell. I'd be pleased with this draft. Just the 2 offensive linemen I don't think are kind of Green Bay's speed. And hey, please understand that, and this will be a mock, and I'll repeat some of these feelings or thoughts in Mock Draft Monday on Pack Report, which you need to check out. It'll come out later today. Hopefully Andy links it here in the show description. Become a VIP over at Pack Report. We'd appreciate that. First month is $1. You want to find out what the what the paywall stuff is about, what kind of our insider info is about. It's a lot of analysis. I did a really long 1,500 word 5 all 22 video deal on Jeff Hafley. Dusty's in there. Andy's in there. We've got people doing high quality film study, high quality statistical analysis, schematic analysis, that kind of thing. And anyway, that's my plug for Pack Report. But Mock Draft Monday will be up on Pack Report later today. I will be discussing this from Owen Jones. I just want to say, shout out to you, man. A 7th round mock is a heck of an undertaking, and it is unfair for me to expect you to know all of Green Bay's tendencies. So the positions were fine. I don't think they'll take 2 offensive linemen in the first 4 rounds, but outside of that, I really liked, what he did. I think Cooper has a chance to be, Brooks has a chance to be a really, really special running back. And I actually have been told that they like Edgerrin Cooper. So that is interesting to me. Okay, diving right into the mock. I heard you, buddy, in the comments. I can't remember what your name was, but I got older eyes. First of all, go full screen or watch it on your TV, but that's fine. So went to 110% zoom here. Okay, we got hopefully bigger text for you guys that are watching, and I'll try to be as verbal as I can for those that are not watching, for those that are on audio form. Okay, we will, of course, be selecting for the Green Bay Packers. We're going to knock it down to 4 rounds because PFF still has the Allen Lazard comp pick in the 4th round. We'll see how that whole thing shakes out. But if I do a 5-round mock, Green Bay is not going to have a pick in round 5, so we're not going to do that. All right, let's rock and roll. Hopefully one of the 8 is here or some crazy, crazy value. Brian Thomas Jr. He's interesting to me. It'd almost be like having 2 Christian Watsons. And I understand the value in that in the sense that Christian has struggled to stay healthy. I just don't know that you build your wide receiver room out like that. And I don't know that Green Bay breaking the tradition of not wanting to take a wide receiver in round 1 since Javon Walker. I can't remember exactly what year that was, which is silly because it seems like it's been talked about ad nauseum forever. But I'm just not going to go with that. And in fact, I'm actually going to go with Quinyon Mitchell because we went with Rakestraw last time, and I want to see a different approach, or I'm going to use a different approach here. There are a number of slot corners, inside guys that I've like Javon Bullard has some versatility there. Tyke Smith is a slot corner. Mikey Sainristil from Michigan is a slot corner. Jerrion Jones from Florida State is a slot corner. There are guys that I'd be interested in getting a outside corner first this time because it is frankly the more premium position. And Ennis Rakestraw, by the way, can play outside and was very successful playing outside. But I'd play him at nickel, especially with what Green Bay has right now. I would play him at nickel. So we're going Quinyon Mitchell. Really hoping that one of the safeties is on the board at 41. And I don't think they are. I would have liked to have grabbed one of those really rock solid safeties. I'm not seeing them off the board though. Do we get we got some movement down the Pro Football Focus board by Kinchins and Newbin. I'm gonna not cheat here because that's not how this works. You don't scroll down the board on these mocks and think, well, I can get that guy later. For example, I don't think Green Bay is interested, but one of my favorite players in this draft, relative to where other people like him, is Cooper Beebe. I think that's a 10-year starting guard all day long. He's 97. He's like my 30th player overall. Now, again, I'm not going to take it because I don't think Green Bay is going to take Cooper Beebe until the 4th round, 5th round, where they start taking guys like Kingsley and Nabari that don't fit what they normally do. But they just look at it and say, oh my God, look at this value. So I think Cooper Beebe is a top 30, top 35 player in this class because I think he's just got an unbelievably high floor. Like, I just know what Cooper Beebe is going to be. He's like Jackson Powers Johnson in that like refrigerator build, but the Packers don't generally take guys with the refrigerator build. I would say the guy who's shaped closest to a storage freezer in Green Bay, Sean Ryan. So going back to this draft with all the rambling. So for me, honestly, it's between Keon Coleman and one of the safeties. So I said I wasn't going to cheat. I kind of am. You go to my board, Keon Coleman right now, pending athletic testing, honestly, is the 25th overall player, and I have a round 1 on him. He's my last guy right now with a round 1 grade. Perfect fit for what Green Bay wants, could want. He's different. Okay, I think Christian Watson and him are a similar height. He's a different type of football player, and he's 20 years old. You get him with Jason Vrabel, even for a year, because I think the Packers are going to lose Vrabel at some point. As much as I would love to grab one of these safeties, as much as I understand that the Packers have, this need at safety, if I pull up the 2024 big board, okay, I have Cameron Kinchens at 33 and Tyler Newman at 34, knowing that I could add this unbelievable piece, potentially unbelievable piece to the Green Bay offense, having already dealt with the secondary to a degree, I got to go Keon Coleman here in round 2, give him to Jason Vrabel, see what he can become, and then not worry about pass catcher for a very long time, because Keon Coleman, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, Jaden Reed, Dontavion Wicks at wide receiver, Luke Musgrave at Tucker Kraft at tight end, you're in business. So we're going to go with Keon Coleman. By the way, definitely taking a hard look at Chris Jenkins as well, but not going to draft him. Just taking a hard look. This is easy. Kinchens is still there. I don't know that I necessarily believe that this is going to happen in the actual NFL draft, but this is a no-brainer for me. Cameron Kinchens in a walk here. And this is as good of a mock as I think I've been able to put together, to be honest. Okay. This is kind of an easy one too. I think, because unless I'm mistaken, Frisk, I want to look at Frisk quick. He blew up the Senior Bowl. I'm excited to see him test. The only thing that's concerning to me is he's 6'5", 300 pounds. It's just the last thing that Green Bay needs. Definitely taking a quick look here. I wonder if Sainer is still on the board. He's not. Oh, he went 2 picks before. So I'm probably a little sad about that, but I'm going to get over it, and I'll tell you why. Sainer still is probably not athletically what the Packers are looking for. He's just not. And that's fine, because I'm going to look at the board here and say, I don't care which one of Trey Benson but Blake Corum is my RB1 right now. He'll be RB2 if Jonathan Brooks checks out. I really, really like Trey Benson just fine. Like right there where I have Corum. Not a huge difference. They do things differently. They succeed in different ways. But I'm going to take what I want to do, although very much looking at McKinley Jackson as well, just because if I was going to add one thing to this defense, it would be a nose. You look at McKinley Jackson here at 6'2", 325. That's nose all day. But we're going to roll right now with Jerrion Jones, stick him at nickel. Now we've got an outside corner and a nickel corner and a safety. So I would say secondary has been addressed. Keep in mind, Green Bay could sign a mid-level corner and a mid-level safety, and I'm not looking at this the same way, right? If Xavier McKinney and Kendall Fuller come walking through that door like Brian Gutekunst kind of suggested they might, I'm a lot less worried. But Jerrion Jones, 3rd-round pick, and Corum and Benson are there, and I've said Corum's my RB1. I'm not going to move off of that. I'm just not. So I'm going to take Corum over Benson, which that's like on a knife's edge right now. On a knife's edge. Okay, this is easy too. I want to see what Jaden Hicks can do in this defense, and see if Hafley wants him. No offensive line help yet, and that's good. That's good that both Braylon Allen and Will Shipley went, because I would have thought about that. And Laumea is my guy. I'm interested to see him test, because he needs to test pretty well to be a Green Bay Packer. 6'4", 311, Pac-12 kid, Senior Bowl invitee, I think. Just reeks of what they want. Looking at Bertrand, looking at AJ Barner as a blocking tight end, looking at Drake Nugent as a potential replacement. I like Max Melton as well. I don't like any of the linebackers enough to roll here. So again, Laumea is our guy. That's our Packers Pac-12 offensive line guy. That's our guy. Here we go. And I don't really care what they grade my draft. This was really more based on my board. They didn't love the Quinyon pick, B+, that's fine. So this draft will go into Mock Draft Monday, and we will have this video on Mock Draft Monday. Very excited about how this one turned out. Mitchell, Coleman, and Kinchins. That I could not possibly start a draft out better than that. Could not. Just super, super, super excited about the way that one turned out. But we'll use probably a different mock simulator next time, and probably stay away from trades. Just going to use a different sim, see how the board shakes out with a different company, whether it's Draft Network, whether it's Pro Football Network, whether it's Fanspeak. We will figure that out. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching today. My name is Ross Uglem. How can you help us out? Number one, please buy a copy of the pre-order of the Green Bay Draft Guide powered by Packer Report. There should be a link right here in the show description, as well as we're going to do a 10% discount there with a promo code DAILY, DAILY, as in the Daily Draft. Check us out over at Packer Report. You can find me on X or Twitter at Ross Uglem. Always like, subscribe, get notifications for the Pack a Day podcast. Have a great Monday, everybody, and go Pack Go.